What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Redemption 46 Studios. I'm Nick.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Curtis.
You know the vibe, just seen the picture, y'all seen the thumbnail. It's still Sugar Day here. First love.
Happy birthday, Sugar.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Sugar.
birthday,
you know the
bro.
vibes. If this is your first time here, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you can get more of our content and go watch some of our older stuff. If you're not on the Patreon, definitely jump on the Patreon. It's Sugar Day on there. We got exclusive BTS content on there. The runs, the rise of Bang Tang, all that stuff is on there. Without further ado, let's jump into First Love.
내 기억의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노 어릴 적 집안의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노
We'll be looking for a live version of this.
그때 기억해 내 키보다 훨씬 더 컸던 갈색 피아노 그게 나를 그때 널 우러러보며 동경했었네 작은 손가락으로 널 어루만질 때 I feel so nice man I feel so nice 그저 손 가던 대로 검했던 건반 그때 너의 음에 몰랐었네 바라보기만 해도 좋았던 그때 그때 기억해 초등학교 무렵 내 키가 너의 키보다 더 커졌던 그때 그토록 동경했던 널 등한시하며 배고 갔던 건반고 위 먼지가 쌓여가며 망치됐던 네 모습 그때도 몰랐었지 너의 의미 내가 어디든 넌 항상 그 자리 지켰으니 그런데 그게 마지막 이럴 줄 몰랐네 이대로 가지마 You say 내가 떠나도 걱정은 하지마 너 스스로 잘 내낼 테니까 널 처음 만났던 그때가 생각나 어느새 훌쩍 커버렸네 네가 우리 관계 마침 별짓지만 절대 내게 미안해 하지마 어떤 형태로도 날 다시 만나게 될 거야 그때 방에 다시 맞아줘 그때 기억해 까맣게 잊고 있었던 널 다시 마주했던데 14살 무렵 어색도 잠시 다시 날 어루만졌지 긴 시간 떠나 있어도 절대 거부감 없이 날 받아주었던 너 We let you I'm nothing 새벽을 지나서 둘이서 함께 만든 아침 영원히 너는 나의 손을 놓지마 나도 다시 널 놓지 않을 테니까 그때 기억해 나의 10대의 마지막 늘 함께 보태웠던 너 그래 한치 앞도 빼지 않던 그때 웃고 너와 함께였었던 순간조차 이제는 추억으로 발산한 어깨를 자꾸 말했지 나도 이상은 진짜 못하겠다고 포기하고 싶던 그때마다 곁에서 난 말했지 생각 너는 진짜 할 수 있다고 그래 그때 기억해 주시도 방황했었던 절망의 깊은 수렁에 빠졌던 그때 내가 널 밀어내고 나만 알고 원망했다 오늘 꿈은 지내 곁을 지켰지 말안했다고 그러니 절대 너는 내 손을 놓지마 또 한 다시 내가 널 놓지 않을 테니까 나의 환승 그리고 내 삶의 끝 그 모든 걸 지켜봐 너일 테니까 내 기억의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노 어릴 적 집안의 구석 한켠에 자리 잡은 갈색 피아노
I'm gonna flip the table if he playing the piano on the live version.
I mean, you know he does. You know he plays.
Nah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if he's in there,
Yo,
this is so.
is it me or is like every Sugar track, every August D track, subconsciously like a therapy session?
It's
Where-
just such a deep seed in him. I
Yeah,
feel like.
it always like takes you deep. Like the way, even the way this was produced, where it was so simplistic in the first verse, and then while he's talking
complexity.
about the piano, and then he talks about, hey mom, and he starts playing it, and you hear more keys being played, then they all drop out, and then by the end of it, it's a fucking full orchestra.
It really was.
It
Like-
was a good build up. It's also a running theme. Like I said, his energy is undoubtedly like
His self-reflection is crazy.
it's another one of those tracks where it's just like you really can.
You can feel it.
It's been a running theme on here that I said earlier, like in earlier videos, that sometimes like the beautiful music, and I call this poetry and stuff. It what do I always say, transcends like language barriers. So even if I was not to listen to his lyrics, if I closed my eyes and just heard this entire thing, I would still resonate with me.
Right.
With that being said, these lyrics are beautiful, and just everything he's talking about. Sugar is just so relatable. It's just something about his music and just how vulnerable and passionate he is, and just his storytelling abilities, and for him to just kind of go off, it's just this is a lot of good. Sugar special.
Was he self-taught, or did his mom teach him how to play?
I don't know. I just know he knows how to play. But at this point with schooling and stuff, I almost assume everybody does something, like plays some type of instrument or does something. I don't know. Could you get more?
Yeah, I thought this was really special for sure. This, like, as you had said, Keith, every time we talk about, you know, a song related to sugar, obviously it does always feel like a therapy session. Ironically, in a weird way, and I know the songs are apples to oranges, but I was really, like, storytelling wise, feeling how Nas said, "If I gave you power with the gun," because, you know, when you project and when you personify an object and, like, give it life and give it value, like how he kept referring to the piano as you and everything like that, like it was like a genuine relationship and something that you could relate to yourself and everything like that, like just and it was sad in a way when he got to the middle and he was talking about, you know, the shattered shoulder and everything. He's like, I wanted to push you away and like you know, and basically you were still there for me every time I turned, you know, both that corner of my mind, like my earliest memory, like the deepest corner of my mind of, you know, anything I can remember about me, like you were there, referring to that piano, that artistic hunger or desire, and just the way it fades in times of trauma, but then also doubles down. Like it's your only therapy, but it's also something you like almost want to repress to a certain degree. Like if you're going through something, it just, sorry, go on.
No. I mean, you were, so like, I was just simply going to say, hearing more of a lot of solo Sugar stuff, things in songs like Black Swan, you wonder, was this like something that Sugar brought to the table, or an idea that he kind of, because it's so reflective and so deep in thought, and RM is the same way. So you could flip a coin and it could be either one, but it's the way it kind of, you know what I mean, is displayed to you that you feel like this could have been a Sugar joint.
Yeah, I think it is an RM joint though.
I think so. Well, I know they both have verses.
No, I know what you mean though, but conceptually,
who came up with the idea, but it's just like, so you hear things like this and you can honestly almost put this in the same vein as if I woke up today and I no longer had passion for my craft, what do I do? And you know what I mean? It's so like in this, you almost feel like he's talking about a piano, but he's also talking about his love for music. I feel.
Well, it's because of what it represents symbolically.
Yes. So the piano would also represent his love for music. Yeah, this is crazy, and I bet that live performance, you could kind of, well, the picture in the background is basically him laying on a superimposed piano on the floor. That's got to be fucking crazy too.
Yeah,
I can
Black
definitely
Swan, 5
imagine.
writers.
Jeez.
P Dog, RM, August Rucco, Vince Nadas, Clyde Kelly, and then produced by P Dog.
So it's just the RM joint, and he wrote his verse. Okay.
It's no, I see what you mean though, like where just like all those artistic elements kind of come.
Yeah, it feels like feels layered and layered in the sense that it's heavy in self-reflection. But and I know in saying this we can go down any of the BTS songs and get that, but it feels different. Like perfect example. We can both break down a video. We can both hit the same exact points, but the language and the way it feels coming out of my mouth might be different than the way it comes out of yours. Even though we're saying the same exact thing. It just feels like his language for speaking through music is a little different, and it feels like Black Swan could be part of that language.
No, I see what you
which
mean.
is why I asked, but clearly.
No, nonetheless,
he's
I
not
mean,
one of
just
those
to, you know, it speaks more on just, you know, how artistically inclined all of them are, that we can see those identities kind of translate into other music from them. But Basically, like the thing I love about this is just more so, you know, you always talk about like just in motivation or mental health or any kind of like aspect of finding your identity or anything like that. It's always about like the why. You know what I mean? Like why you get up every day, what dreams you're chasing, everything like that. And what it boils down to is saying essentially like through the darkest of times, you should be able to look back on your why and use it as motivation to keep you going forward. And the fact that, you know, he had, you know, personified the identity of, you know, the piano and what it meant to him, what it represented, the struggles, and even wanting to turn away from it and forget your why because you forget who you are, but then you're reminded of something that resonated so strongly with you in your past that, you know, because even one of the things with depression is you don't identify with things that you love the same, or it doesn't, like it feels more tamed or more dulled comparatively. And I think that was really strong that, you know, you have something like that in your life that is your why, that you then turn to and you can see, and essentially you use it as a spark to pick you back up when you're down. And it's just, I love the fact that it was like the spawn of the first memory in the beginning of the song, and then the midpoint of the song was the depression and wanting to turn away from it, and then by the end it was about embracing, and that's when the full orchestra you know comes into fruition. So just from the production aspect and his lyricism and, you know, flow and cadence, and like it was a really well presented story overall. And we all have, again, as you would say with language barrier, that's something we all have in our lives, you know. Me personally, it's film. You know, film is my therapy. Film is, you know, everything for me. It's my artistic expression. It's, you know, it helps me learn things about life and stretch outside of myself, but also feels personal to me, where like only I can see this way, as far as just like what it means to me versus what it may mean to someone else. But it's just, but that's the beauty of art and everything like that. And I just love that a song like this, even though he's talking about a piano and someone might not be musically inclined or have a piano or anything like that, but you can project some of yourself into that. And just essentially it's a song about keep using your why, your motivation, and just remembering those things about yourself that keep you going to, you know, keep pushing forward.
Yeah, and I like it too, just because you, like I said, you brought up the core production on how like it built up. We get a lot of, I guess, I don't want to say like poetry from RM, but like where, you know, obviously like, you know, even on like Blood, Sweat, and Tears, things of that nature where like shit will stop and it'll just kind of be him going. This didn't need any production, honestly. This is almost spoken word, where literally he could have been up there with nothing, just spilling, and you know what I mean. I still would have got the same effect, but the fact that the production and everything was layered on top of that to help to convey like the story even more, just turns this into something that's like beautiful. It's something that could be considered like a masterpiece of storytelling, and you know.
Yeah, for sure. It's funny enough too in film. If you ever see like a sad scene, sometimes there won't be any music in the scene, like but one piano key though. You hear that one piano key when emotion's supposed to be felt, and subconsciously you resonate that, you know, with that emotion, even though it's only one key, and it might be every 4 to 5 seconds, it might be spaced out, but there's little effects like that. And I love how, you know, narratively they use that in the storytelling, but as well how they carried it through in the production.
Your sounds are God tier. Sounds, both of them know, can change the whole mood of whatever is going on. Yeah. So a scene could be going on and certain music could be getting played and that scene will feel funny with no context. You put a whole other type of music behind that, the scene is now sad as fuck with no context.
Same with, that was a study with the original Halloween. You remove that score of Michael Myers in the original and you just watch it, you know, before and after. I mean, the movie actually got rejected the first time it was shown before they had the score, because it didn't have a score. There was no emotion felt. Then all of a sudden it went from being boring to the scariest thing that was ever seen at the time for the people who promoted it. But it's just funny how, you know, we talk about that, and it's just this production was a perfect groundwork to a perfect vehicle to tell that story.
Yeah, I like this. I want to see the live version now, just to
piggyback off of that real quick. I'm sorry.
Go off.
Yeah, for sure.
Perfect example of the score. So I don't know people who out there have seen the last episode of Supernatural, right? Did you finish it?
I'm on like season 13 or something.
Bro, I got stuck there. I get you. But you know, but they played the song "Wayward Son." You know, they played it all through the series, but they played the song, full song, back to back twice. Well, no, back to back, but they play the song twice. They play the real version, and then they play a remake a cappella version that's slowed down. And the first half of it kind of shows you like flashbacks and it's ramped up, but the mood entirely switches when they same song, but when they play the a cappella song, it just hits so different, and it creates a completely different vibe. Less than 2 seconds, like it's just. Certain things will just, like you said, music will change your whole entire mood. It's crazy how that works.
Yep. You guys got anything else before we jump into the live?
Just how artistically inclined, all the members of BTS are. But it's just every time we do one of these deep dives into their music, it's just like, yeah, I'm just like always floored by the shit we are able to check out.
So much from one group.
Less than 10 years? Like, that's insane.
One group. Like, if we wanted, like, let's be honest. If we wanted to turn this into a strictly BTS channel, we would have more than enough content.
Oh, yeah, it'd be enough content to last for a very long time, and they still be doing stuff in between all that. Mind you, certain songs we've only reacted to, just like the MV. We haven't done live performances or just other videos that they've done B-sides to their own. They do B-sides to their own tracks, so.
That's crazy.
Let's jump into this.
2 feet.
That's your thing now.
Jump in with 2 feet. Absolutely. There you go.
There are numerous ways in which God can make us lonely
That's RM
and
poetry.
lead us back to ourselves.
Wings album. So
This was the way He dealt with me at that time.
God tier. Yo!
Pussy.
The alarm faded out with the sound design.
This adds different context to it. Should get out of there before the cops come, bro.
All these joints is borderline creepy.
That shit decent.
Above,
Yeah,
so
above.
below.
The car accident with the shoulder, right? As he said, he lost his everything in that moment. Car accident burned his. Yeah.
It's a lot to take in just because the piano got set on fire.
I really love
Everything.
this.
Piano.
Yeah, that
his
was-
his first love got caught on fire, and he lost everything.
Yeah, that was. I really love that the sound design was so loud and over the top with the alarm and everything, and then they use that as a way to subvert the context when when the piano is brought back to him. The piano is a part of him that's literally like imprisoned in his mind, something he has to break into to find. That's why they talk about everything with your why, as we had said in in the other breakdown. But yeah, that was really impressive. And then, you know, just everything kind of mellows out and you kind of fade into your own world when you're in front of that, you know, something that means so much to you, whatever your why is or whatever your passion is. And then after, you know, he's on that dark road, and that's, you know, clearly symbolic. You know, you're on a dark road, you don't know where you're headed, you're just sort of directionless in life, kind of whatever that sort of context may be. But then right when I saw those headlights and that sound design of the car hitting, and I couldn't help but think of, you know, everything that happened with him. That was, and you saw the upside down shot too, literally turned his world upside down. And that same car you see, you know, had crashed through that prison of his mind or whatever, I would assume at least, and, you know, set his, you know, something he's so passionate about on fire. Like, it essentially crushed his why, his reason, whether that be musically or mentally, or, you know, I'm sure there's so many other subtexts you could read into something like that. But it's funny too, because, and I don't know.
Heard the whistling.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know the context. But I know there's a fascination with Suga in the short films, the BU stuff with fire, and I just seeing the piano lit on fire, it kind of.
Because I was thinking about Fake Love.
I was thinking about fire.
Fire, yeah. He literally stands in front of the fire, and it's just so.
Ain't he the one who does the owl?
Yeah, but even in Fake, so. I don't know if you weren't here for Mama. Hope pulls out a Snickers, and in Fake Love, he's in the room.
Oh yeah, I remember
full
the
of
thing
candy
about the
bars.
Snickers,
And in Fake Love, Sugar's sitting in a room that's literally on fire, and he's just sitting there so calm. So, yeah, it definitely
incredible.
Correlates.
That's just incredible, honestly.
Yeah, they arguably are some of the best story writers that I've seen in a long time too, because some of, even just outside the BU stuff, this stuff is so cinematic. These can be shorts or just, you know, like, I mean like just real life movie short Johns, like
Oscar for like best short film,
like, you know what I mean, like Oscar worthy stuff. A lot of the effects and stuff that they got going on, the screen, even their acting and stuff in here
solid
is solid, because sometimes it's a lot harder to act with no dialogue or anything than a lot of people think.
Yeah, because you have to be you don't have a platform around you to really boost anything.
Mm-hmm. So, quick question, and I just thought of this. So he hears the whistle, right, and it pulls him out of the store.
What's the whistle?
Well, one is what's the whistle, but two, would that car crashed in the store had he not been on the road anyway? So would he have died in that car crash?
Yeah, I mean, this is very
if
layered.
The whistle didn't pull him out, because you hear the whistle after the crash anyway. Bruh, I don't.
Yeah, I like the world flipped upside down. I like the Doctor Strange thing they had. I'm not sure if y'all seen the road above him too.
Like,
when
that's why
as above, so below.
When it flipped and it paralleled and stuff like that. But yeah, I like that whole concept too.
You could even argue that's the birth of Agust as opposed to Suge. I mean, because he always toes that line with the duality of everything. So maybe that that mirroring effect is
Donnie Darko type thing,
because all those things are born out of your trauma, and if that's the insight or the moment of your greatest trauma, then in the death of one is the birth of another.
We also have to be careful too, because BU reality is not actual artist reality. I think we were doing the mama thing. It was like, oh yeah, his mama died, and she left him and went to a store, and she left him a candy bar, which is why he ate Snickers. That's not J-Hope's real situation.
No, yeah, there's artistic expression, of course, and all that
but
stuff.
At the time we didn't know that, so we were kind of speaking, I think, for like maybe 5 minutes, just speaking on it until we actually, oh wait, that's just BU J-Hope. So
yeah, but we knew that in the "I Need You" video too. Like, we knew someone wasn't literally murdered.
Well, yeah, but some of these things, like,
I get what you're saying. He's just trying to say that.
But some of the things that are said are self-reflective. Like, but how close to the reality?
Oh yeah,
is
I
it?
see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're looking at Wiki, an overview.
Well, I know that there's. I just got that. No, I just thought that's really. Even in the production too, they don't have any piano keys or anything when the piano's on fire. It's just violin kind of carrying in the background.
Mm-hmm.
These really are just like,
I like the contrast of that shot. Like the darks are really, really dark.
yeah, lighting is key. Nah, yeah, these are just like cinematic like gems.
Hey, does anybody know that whistling, if it's in correlation or relation to a song on the album or another meaning? I'm pretty sure it is, and I'm pretty sure you guys can tell us. So could you just kind of give us a heads up, maybe some backstory as to what that whistling or the tune that they are whistling, what it is and what it means to Sugar?
Yeah, because I'm sitting here trying to find some of the stuff. You know, most of the times I'll wait for us to get our shit off. That way we can give our spill without bias or not without no
Yeah.
information and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Which most of the times I feel like we kind of be right on point. But they were breaking down a majority of the video and having some of the same concepts. But most people just be like, the song is literally just him talking about his piano and literally like neglecting it for years and then coming back obviously to it later on when he was 14 and just vowing never to like leave that alone. Like I said, I can interpret that in so many ways. It could be music, just in general. It could be anything in your life that maybe you stepped away from and then you found out about how important it was and decided you would never let it go. I personally love with the BU and with their content that so many things are left open into interpretation because it leads so much rewatchability value. It leaves room for 3 to 8 people on a panel to watch something and have 8 different ideas.
And that was exactly the thing that was said with Kubrick films as far as like, oh, what does this mean? This is a motif. You constantly refer back to this. And it's like, whether it's right or it's wrong.
That
it's
video I
just
showed you on The
artistic
Shining.
expression of it, yeah.
Flip my whole
And it's
shit,
something, it's
and
something
it's
that
valid.
Exactly, because it's supported. But that's just,
Did you
I
watch that
love
joint?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson is not the crazy one in The Shining. It's
Yeah.
really his wife.
That's just impressive in general when you can have something that's subject to open interpretation. Because even if it's something that the artist didn't intend, like if he is being literal about his piano and his situation to him, someone else can see that and interpret something completely different, but it be supported.
Right,
and it
like
be-
dance
and it be
might be my
helpful.
piano.
Exactly. And it just allows the music and the art to reach such a much wider audience.
Yeah, but that's honestly what I gathered the whole video was about escape. And clearly what the lyrics are indicative of is that the piano is his escape. Like you said, I think your escape might be whatever it is. And what was his escape, he lost it earlier on in life and then found it again when he was 14 years old. And then vowed never to let that escape go. So I mean that's kind of where I'm what I'm getting from most of the video, but I do like the other things trickled in here because it was his escape. He had to break in somewhere though to go get his escape again, and then something else called him away from that escape, and then his escape was destroyed.
Well, he also said in the music version of the song with the lyrics and everything that it was the deepest corner of his mind. Theoretically, I can only assume that that's
Locked away, hidden.
away, hidden. As it is in the video, but also just even your earliest memory. Like, how much memory do you have when you're 3 or 4 years old?
I don't remember.
I got
Like
about
that
three-
might
I
literally
got about
be
3 or 4 terabytes.
right, but that might literally be his first memory. Is what I'm saying. Like, in other words, the oldest version of me, like the very beginning, all I could like that was always there. That's my first love. And
Yeah, he got aggressive as shit when he was breaking that window.
I know. Damn, you play baseball too, bro?
you trying
Thought
to
you
break
just was
in?
thought you just was a shooting guard. But like, comment, subscribe, hashtag Redeemers. We're about to jump into the live version of this, so we're gonna
Yes,
holler
we
at
are.
y'all.
Love y'all.
Peace.